everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Principal Chiropractic broadcast brought to you by DE and Band of Brothers around the world. Before we get started with our speaker, I want to go through some advertisements first. The gala is coming up. The 60-year anniversary of DE is October 24th through the 27th, as the screen shows you right here, right now. We're back at the Perimeter Hotel, same spot last one was. So if you haven't been to DE in a while, this is a different hotel than we've been in the past. So it's the Perimeter Hotel, and it's right off the MARTA. If you want to make sure you get registered now, because I'm sure this is going to be one of the biggest DEs in a while. The first, we're doing something a little different. We're having an anniversary journal. So it's just something, if you want to just sign up, there's the flyer on that. There's like a congratulation or just a small little message, maybe a memory of your DE experiences. You can sign up and get in that, and it'll be like a scrapbook that it'll be a memorable thing to sign up for. So a lot to do with DE. Again, October 24th through 27th, and the gala probably will be booked up pretty quick, and the anniversary journal. So our next speaker, or tonight's speaker, not our next speaker, tonight's speaker is a great guy, man. We were talking just before we came on, and I thought he had 2 children. He has 5 children, so he's a lot busier man than I thought he was. But Pat McCarver has been in practice for 24 years, graduated from Life College. When I first started coming to DE, he was working with Brian Lieberman, and he's been away from Brian, I think, probably 10 years or more, and he's in Ringgold, Georgia. He's engaged and has 5 kids. The dude is busy, and he's buff because he's got done working out, and he's got a great message for us. So with no further ado, let's hear from Pat. Take over, brother.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Andy, thanks for that great introduction. First off, I want to thank the DE family, especially everybody that works behind the scenes tirelessly to make sure that we have a place to have our seminar, have lights and sounds and food and all those kind of things. They just do a great job, and not only during the seminar, but afterward as well. If you ever have any questions, just call Kat, and she can answer the question or get you in touch with somebody that can. They are a phenomenal group. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak on this call. Andy and I were reminiscing about the last time I spoke, and I was at the gym playing basketball. I had forgot it was my night to speak. Literally jumped in my vehicle and logged on, and was still sweaty from playing ball, and gave a little talk. This time I'm a little more prepared. I did go to the gym, but I came home, showered. I got a few notes. Hopefully I don't ramble too much. I just want to kind of take you through some of my experience with chiropractic and what DE means to me and what chiropractic means. And hopefully we can hopefully get something from it. I just want to start just telling a little bit of background about myself. Like he said, I graduated in 2000 from Life University. That was just for the proverbial shit hit the fan with all the accreditation stuff. By that time, I was practicing with Bob Porter. Some of you older heads may remember Dr. Bob. He was a great chiropractor. He's gone now, but he meant a lot to me. But I got into chiropractic not knowing anything about chiropractic. I was an undergrad. I played football, and just by happenstance had some connections with people at Life University that were going to be chiropractors. I thought it sounded good. The only thing previously I'd heard about chiropractic was when I was younger, late at night, I remember commercials, a guy with big bushy eyebrows came on talking about Life College. And then I think there was a Brown Arrowhead Clinics that promoted chiropractic, but it was more for auto accidents. So I really had no idea what I was getting into. Fortunately, my first quarter at Life, I had Dr. David Gadsden. He taught a class we called Body Survey at the time. And he took the time to really explain chiropractic to students. He knew there was stuff that we needed to learn for the class to be able to pass the class and get the hours that we needed. We also knew that we needed to understand what we were getting into and what chiropractic was. And I really appreciate him for that. It was a 3-hour class. We would spend the first 30 to 45 minutes, and he would go through the notes and tell us, this is going to be on the test. This is what you need to know, this. the last 2 hours or so, and you were free to leave once you got that information. But he took that time and really broke down chiropractic. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate that to kind of get me a foundation for what I was getting into. While I was at school, I ran into the Kale Club, upper cervical specific class, and even got the chance to hear Dr. Michael Kale speak some. I opened my eyes a little more about chiropractic. I have my first DE experience, and honestly, I wasn't ready as a student. Some of the older guys, again, may remember, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but it was a huge hotel. There were hundreds of people in there. And I walk in, and the meeting is going, Dr. Sid's speaking. There mothers with their children lining the wall. They're nursing. There's kids running around. It's loud. They're up doing the money hum. I feel happy. I feel healthy. I feel terrific. It was a lot. I was kind of overwhelmed. Actually, left thinking these people are crazy. But now I love it, and I'm so glad that I rediscovered DE. Thank you, Dr. Brian, for that. But yeah, the first time was a little bit much for me, but again, the love in that room was evident. I just wasn't quite ready for it yet. Fast forward a little bit, I graduated school, and I told you I started with Dr. Bob Porter. During that time, I also covered several offices, and it was an experience seeing how different chiropractors practiced their offices. Wait, let me back up. Just before I graduated, I took a trip with some friends down to South Florida, and we visited Dr. Paula, Dr. Curso, and Dr. Rossi. And I just want to, again, give them a shout out because of the love and just how welcoming they were to us coming there as students, not knowing really nothing about us. We literally called, said, hey, we're in town, we're chiropractic students, we'd like to come see your office. And they opened the doors, and it was amazing to see how Paula practiced. Hearing Dr. Curso give his doctor's report, give some first adjustments. That was life-changing for me to be able to see that. Now back to where I was, I'm in practice, I'm covering offices, and especially some of the young guys that are maybe still in school or just getting out. One thing that you don't get a lot of hands-on experience in clinic, at least I did, was infant adjusting. And I'm in an office, I'm covering the Ferguson's office. They were in Ackworth, and I'm covering their office. They're not there. It's just me. Doors open. There's people everywhere. And this mom, this baby was probably 4 or 5 weeks old, and she hands it to me. Here you go, Dr. Pat. And I was terrified. I didn't really have experience with that. It was brand new for me. But when I saw that, and I saw the trust she had, not in me, but in chiropractic, it was one of those amazing experiences. It just made me want to just get better at my craft and hone my skills and just be a better chiropractor for the patients I was going to see in the future. So again, another one of those life-changing experiences. That covering offices went on, and I actually covered Dr. Brian's office while he was out of town, and just loved the experience. And we will argue on this point, but I say that I begged him to let me come work in his office. It took about 2 years, I think, for that process to actually happen. But still, to this day, one of my best friends. Love that guy to death. Great chiropractor, great family man, and working in his office was just amazing. We saw hundreds of people, made some connections that are just, lifelong. And again, I appreciate him. And his birthday's Friday, so guys, wish him a happy birthday, please. Going forward a little more, I wanted to start my own office, and I did that in Ringgold, Georgia, which is where I am now. We've been here for 14 years, opened on June 1st of 2010, and has been an adventure. Since I opened, I've been divorced, now in a new relationship, which is phenomenal. My fiance, Carrie, together we have 5 children, ages from 21 to 13. We have one that is playing golf in college, one that is in college who's about to take a turn toward like an internship in the working world, another one that is in the marching band at a college, one that's a senior in high school, and then a 13-year-old that's an 8th grader. And we are busy. Our fall looks like volleyball games on Tuesdays and Thursdays, high school football on Fridays, college football games on Saturdays. So we are on the road a lot, taking care of everybody. But it's a labor of love, man. We just enjoy it, being busy, taking care of the kids and other family members. And thank you so much, Carrie, for being by my side as we do all this. So going on in practice, a couple things I struggle with being on my own, because like I said, I practiced with Brian for a long time, and then I opened the door of my own office, and it's like, wow, I'm by myself. What do you do? I can remember about 2 weeks into practice, I didn't even have a CA yet. It was just me, a desk, 2 adjusting tables, and a computer. And I walk in the office and I look around. I was like, man, this place is filthy. Why is nobody cleaning this place? And I realized, oh, it's me. I haven't cleaned. And I realized, like, I just had to figure out a whole lot of things. In the process, a couple of things I had to learn, and that was really who I am and what drove me. One of the sayings I got from Dr. Santo, he said, "Numbers create the thirst, but service creates the drink." I may have that a little bit wrong, Brian. You can correct me later on that, but I think that's pretty close to what he said. And I for a long time, I spent chasing numbers, trying to see these large numbers, and I realized it took me a while that chasing those numbers just made me thirsty, and I really didn't like being thirsty. I really like to drink. I take that any way you want it, but the drink was what I wanted. It was the service. So things really turned around for me when I fell out of love with the numbers, and I fell in love with the service. And that just made a difference to me. And I was able to see more people, to open up an office and make it. I actually moved locations. It was really next door, but it was a double space from what I had. It was a bigger space, much nicer, able to see more people. And it's just been phenomenal, just serving the public. And I just love what I do. Dr. Santo, I think, was also the one who said, to be the hollow bone and just let it flow through you. And that's what I try to do every day is just be that humble servant and just take care of the ones that come to me. And that's what we do. We love it. It is just a great experience. I have a CA that's been with me for over 10 years now. And she's just been phenomenal. She has learned so much. She actually came and worked in Dr. Brian's office as well, and learned a lot about running an office, a busy office, and how things to do to make that work smoother. And she does a little bit of everything, which really frees me up to be the chiropractor and to adjust. And that's what I love to do. I have another CA. Her name's Missy. She's new with us. She's been with us just over a year, and she's like that missing piece that you didn't know you were missing. She's really brought some new life to our office. It's amazing. She was on vacation last week, and it was just funny to me how many patients came in and they were like, where's Missy? Where's Missy? Just to see the love that comes from our staff that goes to the patients, that they miss them when they're not there, and we become just part of them. And that kind of goes into the next part, what I want to talk about. I'm in the process of updating and kind of changing my website, and there's a long questionnaire that goes with it. And the designer wanted to know some of the key, I guess, aspects that you kind of the philosophy, I guess, that ran behind your office. So I'm thinking I write down some things, and a few things came to mind I just want to share with you. One of the things for me is honesty. I wanted to have a business that operated out of honesty and give care that was honest care. And I just, I'm one of those people, like, I'd rather lose $1,000 than be accused of stealing a dime. Like, I never wanted from a business standpoint, to not be honest. And then from a practitioner, a doctor of chiropractic, I wanted to be honest and tell people, yes, I can help you, or you know what, this is something you may need some help outside of what I can do for you. And I just wanted that when people come to me, they know that they're going to get an honest answer from me. They're going to get honest service from me. And that's something they'd never have to question. It's something I never wanted questioned in my life, especially in my office. Number two was family. Again, I told you, I have a fiance and 5 kids. We have a big family, but also my office is like an extended family. I feel like when people come to my office, they become part of our family. In fact, we say that once they have decided that they want to be a patient, then my actually tells them, hey, you're part of the family now. And with that comes a lot sometimes, but, I always say, we laugh with our patients, we cry with our patients, we celebrate with our patients, we mourn with our patients. there's good and bad things that happen, and we become a refuge for some people. I can remember one patient, she's been with me for years. I call her Grandma Gets. A little story behind that, but Grandma Gets is what I call her, and her husband died. He never would come in with her, but she wanted him to, and he just never would. Anyway, he passed, and she asked me to come to the funeral, and I did. And I go to the funeral, and they're talking to her as we're people are going by and viewing the body, and the family's talking. The funeral director's talking to her and basically tells her, "Hey, you need pallbearers, for the next part of this service." And that's something she hadn't thought about. And I saw the look on her face, and she's looking at me across the room, and I said, "Absolutely." So again, this man who I'd never met, but I knew her and I loved her, and I was like, "Yes, absolutely." So I became a pallbearer in that funeral, and that's just part of just choose family, and that's kind of how we want to take care of everybody. Once they come in, they become part of the family, and we try to treat them that way. We celebrate the successes. Have a young lady, she's tried multiple things, procedures and things to get pregnant, and it finally happened. And you should have heard the screams of joy that happened when she came in and told the office. It was just amazing. And that's just one of the things that we do. We laugh. We have a good time. There's kids running around playing in the office. They're jumping over walls after they get adjusted. They're bringing toys, whatever, man. We have a good time. We're serving the public. People know they're coming in to get adjusted, and they know they can relax. We have a playroom in the back. There's toys. There's always a movie playing. There's a changing table. Whatever you need, man. We just want to be that place, not only for you to come and get a great chiropractic adjustment, but for you to unburden and be unstressed, and just know that you're loved and you're part of that family once you come in. The next thing is they kind of go together. Is love and abundance. The love is the great motivator behind everything that we do. And if you ever listen to one of Dr. Sid's talks, love, man, you'll hear it over and over and over and over, because that was his overriding principle behind everything, was love. And we try to practice that way as well. And abundance, it goes with it, because he's talked about giving, loving, and serving out of your own abundance. And the most important part about that was having no expectation of anything in return. Sometimes that's hard, but we've got to love because we love, not because we expect something in return or because there's some other condition attached to it. Just love because we love. And that's what we try to do in the office. The last one is faith. And I wrote down faith in knowing that the power that made the body heals the body, and knowing that with every adjustment, that patient is closer to being at their highest potential. And again, that's one of the things that we try to educate our patients on, man. Like these adjustments are like walking up the stairs. Every adjustment's another step up, another step up, another step up. We're getting closer to that potential where we want to be. It's not all about chasing symptoms. It's about making your body operate and function at its optimum, and letting that innate intelligence flow to every cell, organ, or tissue within the body. And that's what we do. In fact, I want to read just a little bit out of Meadowlands. Hope you guys have this one and read through it. Dr. Sid said, "I guess it boils down to this, and I do want you to write this down. We are principle people. Chiropractic is a principle. The innate healing consciousness inside of beings is a principle. We are dealing with principles here, principles that work independently of human beings. The strongest thing that I know for a chiropractor to be successful is to have an immense faith in the ability to correct the patient's problem and know that he knows. What I'm going to tell you who are here today is to develop a supreme confidence, the feeling that I mentioned earlier, that you know how to deal with sick people and how to solve their problems chiropractically. And if you do, you will build an immense and enormous practice." That was some words from Sid, man. And that, again, younger guys that missed out on seeing Sid live is an amazing experience. One of the times that I will never forget, we were at the farm at Bobby Braille's. Sid was older, and he was doing a talk, and he started that, "I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific." And we repeated it, and we said it with him, and he wasn't happy. He said, "More energy." We said it again. We said it again and again, and it was just the buildup was just. I mean, you had to be there. I'm kind of sitting toward the back, and I'm looking, and as the evening was, getting later, it's dark. You can literally see the steam rising up off the crowd, and just the energy was building. I mean, I think at that moment you could have asked, man, everybody in the crowd would have ran through a wall for Sid Williams that day. It was a phenomenal experience. So if you guys didn't have the opportunity to see him, read some of his books, man. The guy drops pearls everywhere, and he's just someone to look up to, and has fortunately preserved this principle we have in DE, and that is the great thing. And speaking of DE, we're talking that our next meeting is in October, so hope to see you all there. But I just want to kind of end you with kind of my last DE experience. The weeks leading up to DE, I told my fiance, I was like, man, I need some DE in my life. And when I said it, I don't know if she kind of chuckled at me. She was like, you need DE? And I was like, yeah, man, I just need it. And we get there, and afterward, I think she realized it, because that DE did not disappoint. The speakers and the messages came from the stage, as always, was great. Um, but it wasn't that for me this time. It was the people, the people that were there, the people we talked to, just watching the students, the all the stuff that happens around DE. Man, I needed it. And a little analogy I want to finish with. I know it's a little bit hyperbolic. Just follow me here and just kind of make the connections. Went out with some friends. So I think it was Friday night, and we're riding. And for me, it was it sounds weird, I know, but it's my first time riding a Tesla. And so we're riding. I'm just kind of looking around, man. I don't know if you hadn't ridden in one, it's like riding a computer. Like there's screens everywhere. Everything's interactive. There's windows you can see all around. This amazing smooth ride. And I'm just watching this, man. I'm like, man, this is awesome. We go out, we have a great time. We're on the way home, and battery's getting low. Like the range was getting really, really low. And we're trying to find a place to go. We put in the GPS where where the closest charging station was. And on the way, we went past several gas stations, but they didn't have what we needed. And we had to keep driving. And we actually finally, in this weird parking lot, kind of around this maze, we found a charging station. We plugged in. And to me, that kind of symbolized DE. There are lots of places to get fuel out there. There's lots of them, but sometimes you have to plug in to a tap that is connected to the source. That energy that Tesla needed didn't come from anywhere else. It came from that source, and that's what DE is. It's the fountain that is tapped into the source, and that's why DE is so big, man. That's why it is so important and fundamental for chiropractors. And for me, like I said, it hit the spot, man. I came home. My fiance Carrie was like, I can't wait to go back in October. Like, what are we wearing? Like, she's already ready to pack bags. Like, what are we taking? When are we leaving? It was just a great experience. Like I said, it did not disappoint. So if you're not signed up already, get signed up, come to DE, bring a friend, bring another doc with you, let them experience what it is that chiropractic has to offer, not only for the masses, but for each other. The love in that room, and it's something when you are with people that love you because they love you. There's no condition attached. You don't have to do anything for them. They're not asking for anything from you. You're not paying them to do something or to coach you something. They're just there to love on you and welcome you in. If you want to go visit their houses, they welcome you in. Dr. Austin out in Montana, I'm planning to visit, to go out there to see him. Man, like I can't even put it into words, how much I needed that DE, and I'm looking forward, so forward to October. So hopefully see you guys there. Love and appreciate you all. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to DE. Thank you, Kat, for all the staff behind the scenes. And I'll see you guys in October. Thank you.
Love that, man. DE is tapped into the source, or is
Yes.
the source. I love that, man. All right, a few things you said. Welcome to the family. I mean, in our practice, we say the same thing, and I think in this DE family, if you're not been to DE or haven't been for a while, come, because it is like a family. Yes, like you said, something your first time you come in is like, man, this family is weird, but we'll love you no matter what. We love you regardless. If you don't love us back, that's all right, right? But I did love what you said, man. When you fell out of love with the numbers and fell in love with the service, the numbers took care of themselves. That was beautiful, man. I mean, it's all about service. Serve, serve, serve,
Yes.
serve. Not about the numbers. The numbers will take care of themselves if you can just get in that service space. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome,
Hey,
man.
I need to give a shout out. So next spring, I'm running a 5K, and my son Levi, he's 20, and his girlfriend's name is Riley, and she's challenged me that I cannot beat her in this 5K. So I'm going to need y'all's help and support to get ready and train for this 5K to beat her, and I'm going to do it.
We will support you. You want me to? I'll trip her. Does that help you?
Yes, sir. I'll have you here.
I got that at tripping. It's easy. I'm a blocker. I'll block. You go. Great talk tonight, man. Love you, and we'll see everybody in October. Right?
Yes, sir.
Great call. Thank you.
Thank you.